What if you wake up every day to a new face? Will you risk everything to return to your normal life so you can tell the one you love your true feelings? Or will you maintain your facade and live life as it is, accepting the fact that you will spend the rest of your life alone?
Hello, welcome to our channel. Get a chance to be featured in our future videos by suggesting underrated movies you want us to recap. So today we'll recap and review a drama movie titled The Beauty Inside. Let's check it out.
The film begins with a man named Woo-jin waking up next to a beautiful, naked girl. When he realized what had happened the night before, he quickly but carefully dressed up and quickly left the place. He checked himself in the mirror while riding the bus. He noticed that his face was smaller than his hand the day before, but he shrugged it off because he knew it was only temporary. It will be different tomorrow. His face and body are constantly changing. It could be a man, a woman, a child, an elderly person, a middle-aged person, or even a foreigner. Every day, his eyesight, voice, and ethnicity change. He has access to gender and age-appropriate clothing and accessories. He has no idea how this happened, nor does he know how he will return to normal.
Woo-jin handles his daily life with ease, from dressing up based on the face he wakes up with to presenting himself well to others, something that only some are very good at.
He works alone and sells the furniture he makes online. His only friend, Sang-baek, arrives and proceeds to discuss a project when Sang-baek notices his new, handsome face and suggests that he use it to his advantage. So they went to a nearby bar to have fun for the night. He introduced himself by his name even though he has different faces. Meanwhile, Sang-baek gets drunk and informs his dates about his friend's situation, but his dates usually find him amusing or strange. Woo-jin's date takes him into another lustful night to satisfy their desires. In the morning, he was downhearted when he awoke in the body of an old man. He compared how attractive his face was the day before, and now he could barely see the screen of his phone. He stated that he could never fall in love because of his condition.
It's sad that he thinks that way. He just needs someone who would accept him for who he is.
It all started 12 years ago on his 18th birthday when he was getting ready for school in his school uniform and had the opportunity to look at himself in the mirror. The unfamiliar face surprised him. He slapped his face to ensure he wasn't hallucinating. He went to his mother, crying and unsure what to do, and his mother accepted him wholeheartedly and took him home. He dropped out of school and was never given the opportunity to live a normal life. He continues to live a different life while his friends are dating and graduating. Nobody will be able to comprehend your way of life. He will eventually become accustomed to his daily routine. Sang-baek, a childhood friend, once visited him at home looking for Woo-jin. He was let in, unaware that the woman who let him in was Woo-jin himself. In his room, Sang-baek asked him questions that only Woo-jin knew the answers to. That's when he realized what was happening, and they laughed at it. Returning to the present, Sang-baek informs him of the postponed project, which cannot be completed because Woo-jin took his time selecting a knob, and his company copied Woo-jin's design. Woo-jin looks at his phone on the table and expresses his desire to create custom-made furniture, to which they both agree. He went to a furniture store to look at the knob so he could finally finish the project Sang-baek was complaining about when he saw the most beautiful, angelic face he had ever seen in his entire life. Yisu. She works at the same furniture store that Woo-jin visited. He was captivated by her, and he went there every day after that. She accommodated him daily because she had no idea who she was dealing with was the same person.
He waited for the day when he would awaken as a handsome man, and finally it happened. Finally, he wasted no time and went to the furniture store where Yisu worked.
As usual, he approached and purchased a chair from her. He then asked her out when the chair was loaded into the back of his van. She finally agreed after some deliberation. He bought sushi and took her to the ALX factory where he showed her around. They ate sushi and discussed placing speakers on the table. He walked her home after they ate and asked her for dinner again, which she agreed to. When he got home, he realized and decided not to sleep to avoid changing his face.
So he set his alarms on all his clocks and went to work in his shop, drinking coffee to stay awake in between. He did this for 2 days to continue dating her. It's heartwarming but strange to see what Woo-jin does out of love.
On their third date, they went to his mother's shop, where he explained the rings his mother made and bought her one. When it was time to return home, she noticed him turning pale and asked if he sleeps well because he doesn't appear to. He simply shrugs and stated that he was fine. He follows her home and invites her on another date, but she declines, telling him to go to sleep. So he invites her to breakfast instead, to which she agrees. He looked at her in the eyes and gently kissed her. His train ride was drowsy. He tries hard not to fall asleep but fails. He was startled awake when a train crew member informed him that it was the last station and that they were closing. He wakes up and realizes he has transformed into a face that Yisu would not recognize. She waited for him when they were supposed to meet the following day, but she didn't see him. At least the Woo-jin she is familiar with. She waited until her boss called her before going to work. She had no idea Woo-jin had been staring at her the entire time. He returned to the furniture store, bought a chair from her, took it home, and assumed that was the end of it. He told himself that his condition prevented him from falling in love. He attempted to delete her contacts but was unable to do so. That made him realize he couldn't just vanish from her life. He had designed a table with a speaker and had it delivered to Yisu's furniture shop. Back at the furniture store, Yisu was in charge of the new trainees. Woojin, currently a woman, was among them. Yisu praised him for putting a coin under one leg of the table to even things out. Then he introduced himself as Chae-young. He asked her out to dinner again by the end of their shift. Yisu grew suspicious of him, but he still managed to invite her to his home. When they arrived, she saw all of the chairs he had purchased for her. He introduced himself as Woojin. He showed her the video he made on his laptop expressing his feelings for her. He told her about his condition, saying that all he wanted was for her to know the truth. She became enraged at him and told him she didn't want to see his face again, leaving Woojin stunned.
Yisu's reaction is understandable. She just found out that the love of her life lied to her like that. She was hurt. Woojin's reaction, on the other hand, is also expected. He didn't anticipate that Yisu wouldn't understand. He thought that what they had would last forever.
He realized he was alone once more. Yisu attempted to ignore the thought of him. When she had had enough, she went to Woojin's house and discovered that he was Japanese. She asked him if they could sleep together so she could witness the transformation herself. She questioned his feelings for her. He explained that he is used to his appearance, but meeting her felt awkward and painful.
He told her he missed her but couldn't get to her right away, which is why he told her the truth. Admitting the truth isn't easy, and it took a lot of courage for Woojin to tell her for sure.
The following day, she awoke before him and proceeded to get up and look around his belongings, observing the various clothes he wears depending on how he looks every day. She examines the multiple products he employs and sits in front of the laptop, observing his various expressions. Woojin wakes up and walks over to her, finally waking up as a handsome young man. They spent the next few days going to different places, getting her name tattooed on his nape and taking pictures together. Sang-baek interrupted their breakfast date with a call about their delayed project, so he brought Yisu with him to the office. When the two gentlemen talked about the furniture they were making, Sang-baek informed Woojin about the upcoming furniture store party where Yisu works. On the party day, Yisu was seen sipping wine by herself. In the meantime, Woojin's body is now a grandmother. He was lying in bed when he thought of a way to get to the party. He went to sleep and wished he would wake up as a man. Yisu's boss approached her and told her everyone was interested in her boyfriend and wondered why she hadn't brought him with her. Before she could find another man, Woojin took Yisu's hand in his and asked if it was too late for him. Sang-baek jokingly gagged as they looked at each other in the eyes with such love. That night they were too in love with each other. They drank sparkling wine while joking and simply enjoying themselves. Sang-baek whispered in Yisu's ear that he was worried she would hurt Woojin and told her not to hurt him. They left the party when drunk Sang-baek left to use the restroom. They made love that night while looking at each other, their eyes filled with passion and love. When Yisu awoke before him after their first fight, she saw his face and body transform. She had no idea Woojin had made a ring from scratch and was planning how he would propose to her, an idea Sang-baek gave him when he dropped off the food Woojin's mother had made. Meanwhile, Yisu's boss notices her deteriorating work performance and confronts her about it. She also informed her that there is a rumor about her seeing different men daily. Woojin proposed to her while hanging out at his house, but she refused. He suspected it was not what she desired. She tells him as he drives her home that there are many things to consider when it comes to marriage. He remained silent throughout the ride until Yisu became dizzy, so he drove her to the hospital. He found out from the doctor that she was taking pills to deal with the stress she was going through. Woojin told his mother about what had happened in their relationship, and his mother told him that he got his condition from his father. She admitted that she had forced him to leave. He became enraged at his mother, accusing her of being unjust for not telling him the truth. The mother told him that breaking up with her was the right thing to do, which made him realize that the situation was also difficult for Yisu. He ended their relationship after their most recent date, telling her it was the right thing to do. He delivered the custom-made chair he made for Yisu before he completely left. Yisu, on the other hand, stayed at the furniture store.
It wasn't until she went to work early one morning and a song was playing on the speaker table Woojin made that she realized that she still loved him.
10 months later, she decided to pay him a visit to the Czech Republic. A tall, narrow-eyed man greeted her. She mentioned that she was looking for Woojin, to which the man replied that he did not live there. She asked if it was the LEA furniture office, which he confirmed. She asked if she could come in and look at the designs. He opened the door for her. She looked around and recognized the types of furniture he had handcrafted. She recognized him as Woojin. He went to make her tea, but she followed him and hugged him from behind, telling him that she still loved him. Finally, we see Yisu propose to Woojin on a bridge, which he accepts. After she put a ring on his finger, they sealed the deal with a kiss.
This movie tells the story of a man who, despite his condition, finds true love in the end. This also demonstrates that even at his lowest, he has a mother who accepts him unconditionally, a friend who fiercely protects him, and a woman who adores him. If you're looking for a romantic movie with drama mixed in, you should add this to your list. Please subscribe to our channel to be notified when we upload. Also, remember to suggest movies that you want us to recap in the future in the comments down below.